Hey, what's going on guys? Today I'm going to show you how to make a full width menu in your WordPress website using Elementor. So first of all, let's take a look at our menu. Here's on this page, when I click on the menu bar icon, the full width menu comes from the top with this nice animation, and on hovering on each menu item, you can see a great underline animation. And here after the menu, at the bottom we have also included some social icons with this little rotate animation. So on this menu, when I click on any of our menu items, it directly scrolls down to the specific part of the page. Cool, right? So without further ado, let's see how we can build this animated full screen menu. Okay, so here you can see this is our default header, and this header basically comes from our theme's default header. And first of all, I want to replace this with our custom Elementor header. So for this, let's first of all go to dashboard, and here under templates, go to theme builder. And by the way, to use this theme builder option, you have to have both Elementor and Elementor Pro installed on your WordPress. So if you don't have these plugins, you can quickly get this from my link on the description. Okay, so right now let's click on add new to create a new header. And from here, let's choose the option to header. And here let's give a name to our header. And click on create template. And here let's close this. Here I don't want to create this header from scratch because I don't want to waste your time. I have already created an header as a template. So from template, go to my templates, and here let's select this one. And on this header, you can see I have created two columns, and on the first column I have added a logo, and on the second column I have also added this phone number using this list icon widget. Okay, so here after this I want to add an menu bar icon. So when I click on this icon, our menu will be triggered. So to add this icon, from here let's add a icon widget. Drag this to here. And first of all, I want to change the icon to menu bar. Okay, this one. Okay, but here I want to place this icon on the right side of this phone number. So to do this, we need to go to the advanced settings of the icon and go to positioning, and from the width I want to choose the inline width. Okay, now you can see these two items are placed horizontally, and here for this phone number I also make its width to inline. Okay, now here first of all let's change the color of this icon. So go to style, and from here I want to choose a dark color, and also decrease the size of the icon to 20. And here let's add an border around this icon. So if we go to content, so from the view option, if we select it to framed, now we can see a framed border. And then again go to style, and here I want to change the border width to only 2 pixels. And here under this icon you can see some extra space. I want to remove this, so let's go to advanced, and for the margin from the bottom I want to make some negative margin, -8 pixels. And here between these two items I also need some gap. So if you go to the icon list widget and go to advanced, and if we set some right margin, okay, 24 is perfect. Now lastly, I want to place these two items at the end of this column here. So for this, let's go to the column settings, and here I want to set the horizontal align to the end of the column. Okay, so now our header is done. Now when I click on this icon, I want to show up our menu. So for this, first of all, let's create our full width menu. So from here, let's click on this plus icon and create a new section. And inside this section, we will insert our menu. But before that, let's make the menu height to full height. So make its minimum height to 100 VH. Okay, now it's full screen. And inside this section, I want to add our menu. So if we search for nav menu, let's insert this widget here. Okay, our menu has been added. But here I don't want to show this menu. So first of all, let's create a menu from our dashboard. So if you go to our dashboard and under appearance, go to menus, From here you can choose your menu from here, or if you don't have a menu, click on create a new menu. And let's give a name for our menu and click on create menu. Okay, here on this menu I just want to add some custom links, so go to this custom link option, and from here let's add home and put the URL to hash, and then about, and here after hash I want to write the ID of that section. So if we go to our page and on this section, here you can see we have put the ID to about. So when we click on this menu item, it will directly scroll down to this specific about section. And like this one, let's quickly add our remaining menu items. Okay, after adding all of the items, once again click on save menu. And here again go to our edit page, and we need to refresh this page. But before that, let's click on publish to save our change. Click on save and close. Okay, now if we go to this menu option, and from this drop down we can see our newly created menu, header menu 3 is also added in this drop down. So let's select this. Okay, all of the menu item has been added here. So here first of all I want to make the layout from horizontal to vertical, and on hover we can see an underline for each of the menu items. I don't want this underline, so from here let's remove this to none. After that let's go to style, and here first of all I want to change the menu item color, so let's make its color to this light color, and on hover I want to make a dark color, okay, this one. And here after that I don't want any padding for this item, so let's make the vertical padding to 0 and make the space between these items to 97. Okay, but here this font size looks so small, so go to typography, and first of all I want to change the font to Just font, and let's increase the font size to 63 pixel and font weight to more bold 900. And I want to make all of the menu items to uppercase, so let's make the text transform to all uppercase. And lastly, let's decrease the letter spacing between these letters -4.5, and I want to align the items to center, so from the content make the alignment to center. Okay, now that looks good. So after this menu I also want to add some social icons here, so for this let's search for social icons. Okay, let's drag this under here. Okay, let's quickly change the icons from here. So first of all I want the Twitter icon, then Facebook, and instead of YouTube I want the Instagram icon, and then want to add GitHub, then another one. Okay, then let's quickly design this. Go to style, and here first of all I don't want this padding, so let's make the padding to 0, and here I want some space between these items, 22. And here also let's change the color, so from official color let's make it to custom, and for the primary color, so this color is basically the background color, make it fully transparent, and our icon color I want to make it to this. Okay, and then let's add some space at the top, so go to advanced and give some top margin 50 pixel. Here lastly, when I hover on this icon I also want an animation, so go to hover icon and I want to choose an animation row rotate. So you can see when I hover over on this icon you can see a little animation, like it's a little bit drawing and also rotating a little bit on right side. That also looks cool. Okay, so now our full width menu has been done. Now I want to make it functional, so when I click on this menu will only show after that. So for this, first of all I want to add some JavaScript code. So for this, if we click on here and I want to search for an HTML widget, and let's drag this anywhere on your page, but I want to place that on the top of the menu, and here let's paste some custom JavaScript code. Okay, here you don't need to worry about that. you can get this code snippet on my link on the description. You just need to copy this code from here and directly paste it here. Okay, here after pasting this code, you can see nothing has happened. But here you can see an HTML widget bar over here. But don't worry about that. It doesn't affect our design. We can only see it from our preview. But if we go to our real page, we cannot see that. Okay, so let's again go to our section settings. And here under advanced, we need to add an class to make it work. So let's give the class name to Full Screen Menu. And for this section under custom CSS, we also need to add some custom CSS here. Okay, after pasting the CSS, you can see our header has gone at the top of our screen. So basically it now stays over our screen right here. So after adding this class and custom CSS, we also need to add a class with this icon. So if you go to the icon settings, and here let's add a class. Open button. Okay, after adding this class, now if we click on this icon, we can see our menu has been comes from the top over here with this nice animation. But here we cannot see our full screen menu properly because we also need to give an background color for this section. So if we go to the section settings, okay, now here we cannot edit this properly. So let's give the help of the navigator. And here you can see this is our section. So here let's go to the style tab, and from the background type let's give a color for this section to white. Now this looks cool. Okay, we have added our full screen menu, but we don't have a close button for this section. So right now let's quickly add a close button on here. For this, if we add an item icon and drag this to here, and we want to add a close button, okay, this one. Okay, now we can position this icon at the corner over right here. But here I don't like to use this icon because it looks too bold and also not looks so cool. So I want to delete this icon from here, and instead of this icon I want to add an inner section. And inside this inner section I want to add a divider. So let's add a divider here. Here let's delete this second extra column. Okay, for this divider widget, if we go to the settings, and from the width I want to make it to 45 pixel and want to make the alignment to center, and then go to style and want to make it more bold. So let's make it to 4. Okay, then let's duplicate this divider once again. So duplicate this, and now I want to place these two divider one over another. So for this, let's make the position of the icon to absolute. So go to advanced and go to positioning and make the position to absolute, and also make the vertical offset to 33 pixel. And then I want to add some custom CSS for this divider. So if we paste this CSS here, we can see we can rotate this icon on the 45 degree, and on the other divider I also want to make it to on minus 45 degree. So that's how we can make a cross icon using this divider. Okay, then let's go to our second divider settings, and again also make this position to absolute and make its offset to 33. And here instead of 45 degree angle I want to make its angle to minus 45. Okay, but we need to set an height for this inner section. So let's go to the inner section settings, and I wanna set its height to 100 pixel. Okay, now let's position this inner section at the corner over here. So for this we also need to write an custom CSS. If we go to advanced and custom CSS and paste this CSS, now we can see our icon has go to this corner over here, and from here we also have set the width to 100 pixel. That's okay, but here I don't want to place this icon over here. I want to place this at the corner. So for doing this, first of all we need to go to the section settings and go to layouts, and from here I want to make the content width from box to full width, and here the column position set to middle. I want to make it stretch to make it full height of the section. So if you make it stretch, now our column is full height. But here our menu goes at the top. So to fix this, we need to go to the column settings, and here I want to make the vertical align to middle. Okay, now everything has been fixed. But here if we now click on this close icon, nothing has been happened. So to make it functional, we need to add a class with our this inner section. So if we go to edit our inner section here, and here we also need to add a class close button. Okay, now if we click on this close icon, this menu again will be hidden at the top. So let's click on here. It should work, but I don't know why this is not working. Okay, now I want to save my page and refresh this. Okay, now if we click on this icon, our menu has come, and now if we click on this close button, it's also working properly. So here basically on this inner section, after pasting this class, we also need to refresh this page, otherwise you cannot see it properly. Now our full width menu looks good, but here I want to make some more further animation. So if you go to the nav menu settings and go to advanced, here I also want to add some underline animation for these menu items. So for this, if you go to our custom CSS, here we also need to paste some custom CSS here, and after pasting this, if we now hover over on this, you can see an underline animation. But here you can see this line goes through this text. So let's quickly fix this. Go to style, and from here I want some padding for each of this item. So if we make it to 27, now for the padding we can see the line properly. And here let's reduce the space between to 43. Okay, now it's cool. But here we also don't want the padding on the right and left side. So let's make the horizontal padding to 0. Now here if we go to our custom CSS, so here on the first line you can see the underline color is #333. So if you want to change this color to any color like this red color, you can also do that, but I would like to make it to default. And now if we close this button and click on here, okay, now you can notice the menu has an entrance animation. So the first item appears first, then the second item, then the third item. So we can do this kind of entrance animation by doing this custom CSS. So if we go to here we can see we have added an fade animation for each of our item, but for our first item we don't set any animation delay, so it's 0 second. But for our second item it's 50 millisecond, then 100 millisecond, 150, 200, and so on. So here we have only 5 items, so that's why we repeat it 5 times. So if you have more items here, you can simply just need to copy this code and paste it for our 6th item. And here the last one is 200 millisecond, and you can set here 250. Okay, that makes sense. So right now let's clear this. And here for these social icons, I also want to add this fade animation. So if we go to here and go to custom CSS, let's paste the code for the fade animation. And here you can see the transition delay we have set 250 millisecond. So here for the last item we have set it to 200 millisecond, and for this we have added more 50 millisecond delay for these icons. Okay, right now if we click on this icon over here, we can see this cool fade animation that goes from the top to bottom. That feels good. So right now let's save this header. So click on this update button, and from here I want to show up this on our entire website. So click on save and close. Okay, now on this header, if we click on here, we can see our menu with this nice animation. And if we click on any of our menu item, this will directly goes to the specific section of our page. Okay, now that looks perfect. So next we need to make our header responsive for our tablet and mobile devices. So for this, go to our edit header and here go to the responsive mode and go to the tablet device. Okay, here we cannot see our menu. So to fix this, let's go to the menu settings, go to content and here set the breakpoint to none. So we don't need any breakpoint to show up this menu bar. Okay, now that looks perfect on our tablet device. So if you close this header also looks perfect. So let's check this on mobile. Okay, on mobile you can see our left section looks good, but on the right section it looks really messy. So on mobile, here we don't want this mobile number. So if you go to the mobile icon settings and go to advanced, and here from the responsive option, I want to hide this for our mobile device. Okay, but here you can still see that. But if we go to our final preview, we can see our header like that. So right now let's customize our full width menu. Okay, on mobile you can see the font size looks so big. So we need to decrease the font size from here. Go to nav menu settings and go to style and decrease the font size to 35 pixel and also adjust the padding over here 15 and 25 or 26. Okay, now this looks good. And for the menu, here we also want to decrease the margin top to 30 pixel. Everything is okay, but here lastly I want to add our phone number under these social icons only for our mobile device. So I just want to copy this and paste it under this social icon. And first of all, let's go to the responsive option, and here I want to hide this on desktop and tablet and only show on mobile device. And then I want to make it to full width to make it center. So go to the positioning and make the width to full width, and from the style let's make the alignment to center. But here it's not properly centered because we have given some right margin. So from the advanced, if we make all the margin to 0, now it's properly aligned. And lastly, like these social icons, I also want to add the fade animation for this one. So I just want to copy the CSS from here and paste it over here. And instead of 250 millisecond, I want to increase this to 300. Okay, now if we close this button, okay, it's not showing here. So let's refresh our page once again. And right now if we go to our mobile device, and now if we click on here, okay, now we can see it properly with this fade animation. So sometimes when you paste this custom CSS here, this will not showing properly, so you just need to refresh your page to make it work. Okay, now let's take a quick look on our final design. So now if we look at this from our desktop, our full width menu looks really very cool. And if we also check this from our tablet device, from here this also looks great. And on mobile, you can see that also looks really cool. And here on the mobile, here we have also included our phone number. And on clicking on any of our item, this will directly go to the section right here. And here one last thing I forgot to do. So if you go to our page and over on this icon, you can see our mouse cursor show the default. So here I want to show our pointer mouse cursor. So to do that, let's go to the icon settings, and here if we put an hash. Okay, now this problem has been fixed. So that's how you can create this amazing full width menu with Elementor and some custom CSS and JavaScript code. And as I said, all of the code you can get from my link on the description. You just need to follow my instruction and copy and paste this code in the custom CSS fields. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you on my next.